House Factory Wednesday. Can somebody play my theme music? Don't yeah, I don't got none yet. But yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Love to hell, y'all. Today, I'm gonna be going over chart patterns. Uh Not letting greed get the best of you. They're gonna be a heavy topic today. Not letting greed get the best of you. All right, because last night the CL, mm, it played out nicely. So we're gonna talk. Let's get in straight into it. Right, we're gonna break down this 1 hour chart. We already here. There's already some couple of topics on the 1 hour that we was talking about prior to starting. This, me and Raw was going over it, like prior to y'all getting on the Zoom in on last night trading floor, you know, and how that went out, right? To kind of give you an idea of what happened. Pretty much this will kind of set everything off, right? So once price hit this little consolidation zone because we had this nice little gap from last week, okay, that was left. Price came back up and filled that gap at the start of this week. So that was just Monday. Price hit. Tuesday, price broke out of this gap. You had a nice little pullback here. 2 candlesticks. 1 hour chart once again. Boom. Price pull back 2 candlesticks into this OB here. Bing, 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 bing. 1 hour. Okay, we're gonna highlight that red so y'all know. So once they pulled back in there, and that was murder she wrote for Tuesday. Tuesday was one straight dump day. It's one of those, hey, it's gonna dump, no look back. You can relax. It's running lows, right? And as you see, they kind of took out this little level here. Uh-oh. Wrong tool. No. There we go. They took out this little base right here. Little break of internal structure. Oh. Now, but it's set up perfectly, right? With that straight line down. Come on, highlight. Why you playing? Well, I'm gonna take this then. Trading view acting funny. So we had a nice little setup coming in and hot. Boom. For a bear flag. So looking at your patterns, you got to recognize them. It looks, we was on a 6 minute chart last night, but I know the area, so that's why it was easy to kind of like lock in on it. So this is what it's looking like. And you want to see when you're looking at bear flags, any flags of any sort. All right. This is your pole. This is your flag. You see how you got the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. The cheat is using a channel, but you can also use the trend line to draw it out. But the channel tool works great, works wonders, right? So you see how they forming in this channel, and also the channel tool give this center line, right? So you see they starting to break to the downside. Last night during the Asian market, CL broke out of the channel, no look back whatsoever in this dump. Now your measure move is the pole. Where are you? There we go. That's our copy. So you snatch that, copy. This your measured move, right? Boop, boop. I know everybody probably played these. So you mark it out. These one of those, like, hey, it broke out, went, no huss, no fuss, boom. We was looking for, me and Rob, we was definitely looking for this thing to pull back up and do a retest. I was looking for something like, all right, you're going to break out, retest it, and then go down, right? It didn't do none of that. None of that. None of that at all. It broke out, went sideways, build a base, and then tanked, right? So all it did was build this little consolidation block. Boom. That's all it did. All the Asian to London, then broke down. But the reason why you want to highlight these, right? Because I'm going to show you. You see, price will return to that. Like every single time. Anytime you get a large amount of consolidation throughout the Asian London market and then price breakout, that's your manipulation price going to return back to that zone. And that is a whole nother trade setup right there. If y'all wasn't aware of these. Always highlight your consolidation. Any large amount of consolidation for hours or minutes, that's large amounts of it, highlight that because that is a new trade setup. It's one of those A+ setups you want to be aware of. And if you're aware of it, cool, great. You can wait for these type trades, especially you're not sure what's gonna shake out, right? Trade actually way over here. And if you got the proper size account, you can swing these trades, or you can just take the little, the percent that's available to you, right? Because you can look, the low is at 140 to the measure move, but they actually got a low right over here. So this is our low for the day on Wednesday, because that's where we're currently operating at. One of my favorite days to trade. So that would have put you at 163 ticks. If we keep following price, maybe they get there because we still got Thursday, Friday to look at. They can possibly get to this target by Friday. If you're using trading USO kind of follow crude oil. You can probably swing that in your option account, or you have, the swing trading futures accounts, or even in the Forex market, you can also swing that, right? But you were looking for A+ setups like this, or you can find other trades in the midst of this setup here. So typically, when I come to the market during New York, because I like the New York trading section, it's a lot of nice amount of volume. It do what I needed to do, and I can get my trade. But I have a couple of rules in place. I cannot trade unless I see these particular things. One, my favorite day is Wednesday to trade. I'm looking to trade on Wednesdays and Fridays. If it ain't really those days, I let Monday pass by, Tuesday, unless it got to be a 10 out of 10 trade setup that I will trade on a Tuesday. But if I don't see that, I'm not trading on Tuesday. I don't care. Or any other day, unless it's a 10 out of 10, right? But on a typical Wednesday, that's when I look to take action. So I'm running my field from this high to this low because this is where that's the highest point they broke out of. And I'm running down to this low. This is my trading range. I'm looking for a 60%, 50 to a 60% pullback, right? We in a downtrend. I'm looking for a 60% or greater pullback. If you don't have that, you get one of these, right? Looking at it, you'll get a pullback to your 34% and you'll see, oh man, they're going to dump. Look at all that down action. Of course, they're going to go down and then they keep going up. I need to see them at least touch a 61% or greater for me to say, hey, I want to take this down. On average, CL will retrace to the 61%, 65%, sometimes go a little higher during the New York opening, right? After that, sometimes they will stop at a 50% and dump, or they can have shallow retracement, but you get a shallow retracement, 9 10, they're going to reverse that trend. So I look for a deep retracement to a 61%, which it happened. Now, I wasn't available at the time because I wasn't sure what the market was going to do with price dumping so much overnight, right? It hit the full measure move plus some. So when price dumped that much, I know CL do not like to perform like that during the New York because price got a range that it like to travel. If it travels so much in the London market, it may not be so generous during the New York market. So I look for small moves in London. I'm looking for really consolidation in Asian, just like this. Then I'm looking for a small move in London that's a quick little breakout of this channel one way or the other. Then in New York, I'm looking for the major dump. This happened in the London market, which was, it is what it is. I was asleep. It is what it is, right? Now, with that being said, once I seen price dump down and I came back to the chart when I had some time on my hands and I seen price stopping at the 50%, it's consolidating at the 50% level. I'm like, that's great. That's my area. I like when it's consolidating because that means the pullback already happened and it's starting to act as some form of resistance, right? Because one, you got this little cluster of candles here that they cannot beat. So once you start looking at this zone, you said, all right, cool. They're having trouble right here. That's a sign, right? They can't even get past this candle. That's a sign. So I'm looking at price. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Now it's time to make a decision. I know news come out at 10 o'clock. So I wanted to kind of let the news settle and I was gonna take action. Now let's get down to this lower time frame. And I can tell now, Chad, this what happened when I got greedy, right? So as I'm looking at price consolidate here, boom, 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 it hidden. I'm like, great. I went short right over here on this candle. Stop loss was the high of that zone on I'm looking at a 1 minute chart at the time when I was trading. Now the original trade was to this low here, right? For like 60, should have been 60 ticks. That's a simple 60 tick take profit, 10 tick stop loss, right? But once I seen the candles coming down with this much force, I say, Sudden, this trade got more to give. Last week, week before last, I was in the same type of trade, same time frame, the same time park anyway, right? I said I'm gonna go for a 1 to 4, which was a great trade, but it had more to give. I chose not to take the more. And I simply said, well, it's moving. I'm gonna go ahead and readjust my stop loss to 80 ticks down to this low here, right? Big mistake. They swept this low where my original take profit was at. Once they got this break of structure, oh, wrong thing. Once they got that break of structure there, right? I'm like, okay, that's cool. My stop loss was already in profit at this moment, right? I already moved my stop loss 20 ticks in the profit. It was like in this ballpark right here. I'm like, stop loss in profit. I don't care, right? This is my stop loss. 20 ticks in the profit. I'm like, yo, I'm up 50 something ticks. I'm like, I'm good. If anything, they may pull back to 30 ticks because then they showed me 60. I'm looking for a pullback, leads to about 30 up in this cluster price, right? Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Y'all can really get an idea of what this really is shaking out like. Okay, great. All right. So all this consolidation here, I'm looking for price to get in the zone and reject. They say heck to the no. They hit. Whoa. This trade was over in a matter of minutes. All together, I was in the trade 14 minutes. But at the end of the day, it was unnecessary to take that much risk. I could have just simply took the 60 ticks, got out of there, but I was looking to get more, in that greed what got the best of me. Straight up and down. It was the greed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I seen what happened last time, and I said I want more of that, right? But those are things that we have to control as traders, right? If you have a clear target, don't get to change things up. This consolidation point, like I told you before, same thing at the top. The consolidation of a zone is a target for price. Price like these zones. They're gonna hit them all day long, right? They're gonna want to hit those. They broke structure, which is what sweeping stop losses and orders, and they're gonna say, "Great, we're gonna take up. We're gonna take off." Boom, they ran it, right? You see what happened? They swept, boom, 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 took off running to the upside now, which stopping other traders out who had they stop loss here. If you was up in that other form, you had stop loss there. If you're still in this trade, not paying attention, you could have got in over there on that side and you've been waiting for this trade to break down, right? So you was greedy or you just didn't move the stop loss. In most cases, some traders don't move their stop losses. They take the trade, they walk away. No risk management is besides the stop loss itself. So you can get stopped out of things like this, right? That's why they do this. That's why the market makers and those algorithms kind of run like that, so they can go run stop losses traders who did not readjust their risk management. Me personally, I'm a strong believer in adjusting your risk management once you have X amount of profits on the table. There's no need to let that go. There's never a need to turn a winning trade into a loser. I haven't found an excuse yet to do so. Right. So if you have green, especially any significant amount of green, use some risk management tools, use a stop loss, use a trail, anything of the sort to get your risk off the table. That way you can breathe as a trader, let the trade go where it needs to go and say, all right, I'm fine with this much take profit. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with that. And I can continue on with my trading day or go back to my day-to-day lifestyle. You don't want to be glued to the computer. You want to be glued to your devices or however you trade. You want to get in, get out, and get on with your life or go back to your life. All right. That's that. That's on CL. Any questions? All right. Yeah, it's all right, Tony. You don't have to be glued. You said something, chat?
I was gonna say if you put it back on a 6 minute, because I done had this experience too, especially in a trade, especially when it's going my way.
Uh huh.
Um, it's a 6 minute candle where you were explaining where you were trying to do your stop loss. It was a strong, it was a stupid hammer candle on a 6 minute. I'm trying to find out where it was, where you said it swept the lows, whatever that
Right
candle
here.
was. Yeah, whatever that candle was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little. I thought that body was a little bit smaller, but
So let's go to the lower time frames because I did change time. So you're talking about this
okay,
candle
there
on
we go.
30
The three
minutes.
minute, there we go. Because
Yes.
a lot of times, if I'm like doing my little day trade or whatever, like that one right there, like you get
Yeah.
like a sharp candle like that. Um, Sometimes I de-risk. I done played myself several times seeing something like that come in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then these powerful candles just come out of nowhere and just be busting out of just busting to the sky, and I'm just like, and then I'm losing my money or losing my gains. But I feel like some of these candles sometimes I'll tell you when to de-risk, especially something like that. Like you look back and you saw that it swept them lows to the left. Once that candle closed and you had that next candle come, you got this 74.83 level. It's 38% on your fib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's, pretty much that's where, once I had that stop loss in profit, it was, I'm just like, all right, it is
Yeah,
what it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I kind of throw my hands up because I
yeah,
try not to tamper with the trade as little as possible, right? Because it's times where I did so and it cut my trade short. And that was a 1 to 10 trade, right? That was one of them 10x trades. And I cut it short because I was tampering with my stop loss too much. But when it happens, I call it like this. I'd rather this, if it's going to happen, let it happen. Because when I move that stop loss to that take profit to that level, I was satisfied with the profits no matter what.
yeah,
I'm like, I'm not losing money. I don't care,
yeah,
right? Long as I don't lose money. That's number one goal. Don't lose money to me, right? But sometimes you can see those. They can be a crazy all out reversal. My higher time frames, everything was pointing bearish on my oscillators on the chart, right? On my all my oscillators telling me bearish. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let you do what you do. If you reverse, okay, cool. I said, well, I'm still walking out here with something. That's why you're definitely right. You have to use some risk management. You got multiple contracts. Yeah, definitely scale out.
yeah.
It ain't no need to take the risk
Ain't no need to
because
take the
somebody
risk.
else, yeah, will take that
Yeah.
flip. So
I done got
that's
busted on that.
why, yeah, exactly. Because most people taking these trades with no stop losses, and that's when you sweep, get your whole account sweep. You like, oh man, it's going to the dirt. I got this. It's all day long buckets, and one of these come mess up your day. That's a pin bar, by the way, one of Rod favorites. Long wick, small body, little shadow at
Yeah.
the top, pin bar. Bagaboom. Yeah.
No, that's
So
solid, man. I got to
those,
get into futures. Um,
yeah.
so I'm gonna be kind of like just kind of tapping in once I'm ready to get in and get qualified.
Okay.
Um,
Ain't no
but
rush.
yeah, because I would like to tap into that because a lot of the stuff, like I'm at a point now, I don't want to say I can read the market, but I can look at
Mhm.
it and actually try to make a good decision. You know what I'm saying? Or let the chart show me what's going to take place.
Okay.
Um, and of course, I mean, I done got smoked a couple of times just thinking something's going to happen, but just waiting for it to happen. I mean, that's been pretty much key for me these last couple of months.
And that is the major key right there. Here's the thing, right? Take your time, your win rate will go up.
Yeah.
I promise you, right? You will guarantee if you take your time with each setup, each trade, your win rate will go up. All the trades, I believe, I lost, only lost three this month. And every one of those was either I rushed, point blank period. I rushed into the market because I wanted to hurry up and make a trade. One, it was one trade on CL. I took a loss at the 318, the 38% retracement, right? I seen it, it was already pushing down. I said, man, let me hurry up and get this money real quick so I can hurry up and get back to my day. I prefer to get in and out and go on about my day, right? I took that trade at the 38%. They smoked me. They consolidated. They showed me 7 ticks of profit. They went like 7 ticks in the profit, and then they went out, boom, stopped me out. I said, damn. I said, okay. But it was such a large trade where all I had to do was just spin the block on them and get back in, which I did. I waited till it got to the 618 level, set my limit order perfectly. Boop, hit, trade dump, got my money back. I'm like, okay, I'm smooth for the day. But that trade could have been bigger. But I had to tell myself, like, say, you already, you know, risk XYZ. You got to take some risks off the table to cover the last position. That's one of my rules. You're going to take multiple trades. I prefer to take one trade a day. But if I take multiple in that day, when the other one goes to a certain amount of ticks and profit, I like to cover the last position that I stopped out because I use small stop losses, right? I like to keep tight stop losses. That way it makes the risk to reward, worthwhile doing it. The risk to reward is not there. There's no need to take that trade because the risk is that great. Is it, you ain't really making money because you're gonna keep doing that. Eventually they'll blow your account, right? So you want to always make sure your risk to reward is there. If it's not, then it's like, what are you doing, right? So I spent the block, use another, I think that was a nine, no, a 10 tick stop loss on that, which is $100. Boom. It went, got my money back from the last position, plus made some more. I'm like, great, I'm green for the day. Got that back, but it taught me a lesson. Be more patient, right? Be more patient. Then two other times I lost it because I was on a Friday. I was bored and I said, man, I want to make some money real quick. The market moving. Let me just I just like I had this little itch, cause I ain't crashed out in a minute, but that day I wanted to crash out real quick. I just want to click the buttons. I should have been paper trading, but I wanted to click some buttons and make some money real fast on this Friday. Who don't like making money on a Friday, right? Didn't see no setup. I just click some buttons, playing around on the NQ because it's always a good time on the NQ, right? You can just walk in there and just click some buttons and get some money. But yeah. They I added to the pot. So somebody had a good Friday on me. But that's one of those things. You have to be calm, cool, calm, and collected. You must be patient. You must wait for the proper setups. You must have a system in place. If that system is not there, you don't trade. Last week, I didn't even take a trade last week because I didn't see a clear setup. The market was moving funny. Uh, it was outside of my trading hours. Then by the time it actually done something, I was long gone. I'm like, man, I ain't even looking at the market no more. I'm not looking at this market past 11 o'clock. It's New York time, 11 o'clock New York time. I'm in Central, but yeah, I'm not looking past that 11 o'clock hour in the market because I'm like, I'm done for the day. If it haven't happened or if I don't see a setup, I don't see something worthwhile waiting for, I'm not gonna come back to that market. I'm not gonna be there all day. I'm not forcing trades. I don't care. I'll come back next week. Either I'll come back Thursday, Friday, or this next week. Maybe I'll look at something Thursday if it's close to the target level. Or if not, I'm looking Friday. If that, if not, I'm coming back next week. Don't care. Don't care at all. Unless I get an alert go off on a stock that I'm looking to trade an option on or something like that, I'm not sitting around for this. You feel me? And that's the mentality you got to have because that's what's going to keep you in the game longer. That's what's going to help build your account. That's what's going to help compound those accounts is taking less trades, better positions, great risk management. How you manage your greed? Well, that's something you got to start, getting right within, right? That's a self thing. Is you ain't gonna find it on the chart, but definitely a self thing. You got to be logical about where the market can actually go. So let's take all these fibs off, right? Well, typically, I'm gonna show you something. This is a great risk management tool that me and a couple other people like to do, right? On my fib, you see I got a negative 27. I prefer my targets.
Can I ask? Can I just um
Yes.
based on your current chart right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you see how you open it back up.
Mhm.
Oh, go yeah, right there. Just say if I was in that trade.
Yeah.
Okay, I took it going down. I saw the
Hmm.
pin bar. I see it's pushing back up. I would have put a level at the 50%. Once I noticed that 50%, I would have took it that 50%. I would have saw I play a lot of fair value gaps.
Yeah.
I noticed it would have been a liquidity sweep. Okay, I'm taking it the other way.
Hmm.
But my thing is, I find that I I I think I not I think I see that, hey, that's being greedy because that wasn't what you went in there for.
Yes.
But I saw the play.
Yeah. Because that's see here's the thing, right? Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, I say that to myself all the time until I'm in the play.
Now, and yeah, until you see the plate. So if you already took one trade, you
Yes.
need to
And I say, okay,
screenshot.
that's a liquidity sweep right there, pin
Yeah.
bar. Okay. Okay, if it creates a fair value gap, I'm gonna take 50% of that, take it back up. And that's the exact play because I play um, you know, fair value gaps. I'm big on imbalances and liquidity sweep and
Yes.
liquidity overall. But
So
sometimes what I'm finding myself doing is I'm just being transparent. Because I'm asking so I could see how other people are managing their trade so I could do better. But I'm waiting for a response. Go ahead.
yes, one second. So what it is, you have to take the trade and log out, like this log out, like straight up.
Hey, can I add something to that, Neil?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm king of I'm been trying to eliminate that habit of being greedy. I'll be in a play, it just go absolutely stupid, and then it reverses. And instead of just taking my money, I just stay in the play, and then it go back to either break even or I'm down $10 in it. A lot of times, that what helps me out is either just setting a point that I'm gonna get out. Say I got 3 contracts, you know, I said, I said whatever percentage I'm gonna get on it, and then that last one, if I'm gonna let it run, I'll let it run, or I'm gonna set it for break even. What's been helping me is just simply just taking my base hits, and like Neo just said, just kind of walking away. Like if I have a good trading day, I just close my laptop because what happens is I'll have a good trading day and I'm so hyped, I want to get into something else, or I see another setup and I get in, and then I pretty much eliminate anywhere from half of my gains to everything that I gained that day. So if you, it's more or less just planning that trade out. If you in 3 cons and you know how much you want to take on it, like how y'all doing futures, y'all take y'all ticks, take your ticks. You know, say how many ticks you want to take your money. And then if you got one that you want to quote unquote leave as a runner, or if it come back to break even, whatever your stop loss is, then get out at your stop loss. That way, you just managing your emotions. But a lot of times it's just practicing, just doing it over and over. I done got murdered so many times being greedy, and it's like I finally got to the point that, all right, I'm over going through that. So it's just a matter of practice and actually being intentional about taking your money and setting your ticks, and then literally just walking away. Because you want to take that money, whether it's 30%, 40%, it's better than 0% or that loss.
But here's what I'll do. Just say I had pre-cons, right?
Yes.
I'll get to where I'm supposed to get off. I'll sell 2 contracts.
Right.
And then I'll choke the hell out of that one contract. I tracked that thing like it was a noose.
Right.
But am I being greedy at that point?
Well, you saying you
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
nah, no problem. So you saying you track it, or you tracking it with a stop loss? Like,
Yeah,
or
with
you
a
just
stop loss.
watching?
With a stop
Okay.
loss.
Well, if that's supposed to be the runner, right?
Yeah, that's the
Best
runner.
thing so like here.
Instead of me getting
Hey,
out, because that's the end of the road for me, I met my goal. I'll keep the runner, but I'll choke it.
so this what you do, right? You see how this put this stop this limit, this alert right here?
Mm-hmm.
Set an alert for a take profit goal. Have a goal in mind.
Yeah. I have a goal. I'll sell 2 of the 3,
No,
but then
so
the
what is the
one
whole
that I
problem?
have, I'll choke that one.
Well, that's the whole point, though, right? Where was price going in the first place when you get into that trade? That's the whole thing, is knowing where price should go. So if you notice, right, my target was this consolidation in this low. That's what price been at. I target where price been before. That way,
Right.
I already know where I can possibly get paid at and how much I should get paid. I'm not just saying, hey, you should go to the moon, right? I'm never expecting it to go to the moon. That's why I wait, because I need a low or a high as my take profit. So let's look at it real quick. I'm gonna get up out of here, right? So if I was taking this trade, if I was taking that trade up, right? Boom, right there. That's your target off top. Is that high? 67 ticks, that's what it's worth. Do it have more? Potentially, yes. Or you can see this block and say, well, my target is that block, but I like that high. 9 and 10, if they sweep the high and it's embarrassed territory, they may go back down, maybe not. What is my safe bet here? Do I want the safe bet or the 67, or I want to risk it a little bit for the 100? Those are your 2 options. So once you have those 2 options on there, you said option 1, trim profits at the safe bet. Option 2, you go to the 10. You go to the 10x trade. And that's all you have to do. From there, that's 100% mechanical. Is no risk. Is really no mental greed involved. It's just, hey, stop loss in a profit. I can't lose this trade regardless. Now I just need to walk away. If you got a runner, let it run to that particular goal that you're looking for, right? And you want it to be like this, a 1 to 10 trade that I love to take, but at the same time, you cannot have it too crazy, because it can get right to that level and then reverse on you. Because whoever was saying, oh, we're going to go continue up, right? They looking for this 130, 100, whatever amount of ticks, right? Look what they did. They barely got into the zone and then they dumped. Now you crying in the car, right? Now, if you really had your trade stop loss there, they almost right back at your entry. So that's why I say something that's attainable, and you should be good with that.
Okay. I mean, I'm just asking because I find that although I get what I came for,
Yeah.
but if it gave more, I'll set, because I'll even go down and spin the block and get in just one contract just so I could catch the rest. I'm like, oh man.
Nah, you gotta log out. Like, you gotta log out, because here's the thing. If you jumping back in or you steady running behind it, and that's what you need to be doing is taking full profits and just calling it a day. Triage your trades, review, see where you can improve at, and simply take note of what was the market conditions to say, could I got more? And I should have got more. If not, well, then I got what I needed to get. I got everything that was available to me to get and call it a day. Like straight up and down, I learned I have to be satisfied with the trade I received, take it to where it needs to go, and just get out of there. Right? I take my screenshots real quick so I can come back and review later on and do my triage. And I take a mental note like, okay, what did I see? How did it play out? This, that, and the third. And I go home and I keep going with my day. You can't keep trying to get back in, get back in, get back in, because all they're going to do is give you scar tissue, right? They're going to give you trading scar tissue where you're gonna say, man, I could have got more. Oh man, I got less. This, and you're gonna be in this ping pong mental action of like, oh man, can I get more? Can I get less? What can I do? Right? So that's the whole problem. So yeah, we got you.